and welcome to the Space Coast Real Estate Show. My name is Jesse Hall. I'm a local real estate agent with eXp Realty here on the Space Coast. With me in the studio is Michelle Carpenter, John Michelli. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Doing great.
I am so excited. Today's topic, I am just over the top with.
Dumb homes for smarties?
Dumb homes for smarties. Or smart homes for dummies.
Oh, I got that one backwards. Damn
It was backwards. John's a local lender with Movement Mortgage. Michelle's
LoanApplyApproved.com.
with Inspiring Homes, Staging and Redesign. And together we are the Space Coast Real Estate Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to bring you some very fun, not just real estate topics, but things to do with your home, around your home, or to your home, or whatever may be home related. And that could be landscaping, how to refinance, and so many other things. But today's topic is smart homes. We're going to go through automation. We're going to kind of go through what you need to even start your smart home redesign or applications. And I have some examples, but real quick, why does somebody want to improve their home so it's a little smarter?
Well, there's so many reasons, but like a lot of great reasons is, to be able to control things remotely, primarily.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You want your air conditioning. You get home from the airport and you've been gone for 2 weeks. You want your house cool when you get home. You click on an app or tell Alexa and cool down your house.
One of the many good reasons, Michelle.
I was going to say there's a lot of reasons. The snowbirds, the people that are here just, during seasonal times, or even like Airbnbs and things like that. You want to have the unit set at a certain temperature when the guests arrive.
Another great reason is to for energy efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
You can control your hot water
save
heater.
electric bills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Save money on electric
So
bills.
funny thing is, right behind or right above John's head, for those watching the video, you can see the studio's Nest.
Mm.
That's a Nest learning thermostat, and it actually comes on and off by the manual program that you've done. So it learns like 5 or 6 days worth of, turning it down, turning it up, turning it down. And it also monitors when you leave the premises. So if you're not here, it knows by the app, and if it knows that that you've left the premises and you're no longer within the vicinity, it'll go down to an eco temperature of whatever you set. For me, it's like 78. So yes, energy efficiency. It's smart. It learns. It's kind of like AI, but I'll tell you what. I can't live without it, because I know if I'm coming in on an off day, right, like the weekends where I normally may not have a show, I could, on the way here, just like you mentioned from the airport, set it, and now I'm coming into a comfortable studio. So even this studio is a smart studio. So we are implementing some things. I brought some other things from home, but and I love your guys' examples, but I want to give the listener kind of my rundown. I would interpret it as something that not only creates combines technology, because that's another thing that we're going to be talking about. How does my doorbell, like a Ring, my thermostat, like the Nest, and say a smart light, like the Philips Hues, how do they all communicate, and how can I get them to create not only like maybe a little ambiance or atmosphere, right? If I have a multicolored bulb, it could be festive. Like I'd have 2 bulbs like kind of next together, and for Christmas, one's red, one's green.
Yep.
And so it creates an atmosphere, but it also can be energy efficient. It could be automation. So for instance, at 11 o'clock at night, the foyer light goes off, the landscaping lights goes on, and all these different things take place at a certain time,
Yep.
how you prescribed it to happen. Same thing in the morning. My lights gradually dim just to mirror the sunrise. So it syncs with the clock, which is so cool. And then my lights in my room kind of mirror what's going on outside.
Then your bathroom light comes on, and then for about 20 minutes, and then your kitchen lights come on. And
at 8 o'clock, reggae kicks on the downstairs Alexa.
The coffee machine pops on.
I'm telling you, like all these little things, right? So is that scary, or is that exciting, Michelle?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, why? Please tell.
Well, technology.
Right.
The more technology, the more electronics you have, the more you have to break down, and the cost that to fix it, to repair it,
firmware to update,
right?
Batteries to replace.
Right.
Yep.
You know, someone hacking into your home.
Yeah.
I guess
Okay.
would be an issue.
That
or
could be
concern.
fearful.
Yes.
Well, how about you, John? Is it exciting or worrisome?
Oh, it's exciting for me. I
Yeah.
love it because I'm a technology nerd.
Me too.
Not a lot of people know this, but before I was a mortgage guy, I was
Right.
an engineer for 20 years. So, you know, technology is part of my life. So
Yeah.
I embrace it.
I embrace it as well, and like I said, the studio is kind of smart. I have it's not plugged in, but I have our own studio. This is the Google Home. It's a voice automated contraption, just like, you know, your Alexa Dot or you know, I have a Dot Plus. I have a Google. Anyway,
An input device.
yes. So you can control it with your voice, right? So voice command, however you want to say it, but it's also like a radio. It's trivia. It could be like a friend or companion. Like, tell me a story.
can
Hey
joke with
Google,
it.
tell me a
Yeah.
story. Like, you know, and again, is it listening? People think like Alexa, is Alexa listening?
I got in an argument with in my car the other day
No
with
way.
my daughter in the car. She was laughing so hard. It was hilarious.
You don't
Like
argue with
Alexa.
Siri
I
or
th-
Alexa,
Yeah, you can.
but you did.
Yeah, you can.
Who
It's-
won?
Right.
Well, my wife and my daughter both say that I lost miserably, so they're
Okay.
way smarter than me.
So the AI is already catching up with John Michelli,
That's
Oh.
right.
the engineer, the mortgage guy. And
Surpassed me.
oh my goodness. So
Put me in my place.
is AI learning? Is AI going to be like the Jetsons? I mean, are we going to have our own like little dot like robot and our own like automated car that drives by itself? I mean, Tesla's almost got there.
Almost got there.
So how far are we away from being like the Jetsons?
I have no idea, but I'm probably, probably a few
It's,
decades.
I'm
but-
thinking it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
You know,
Decades
because
just goes by like that.
I mean, my coffee, right? I could program to start at a certain time. I mean, there's so many things that we can like.
I was 20 years ago just the other day.
Yeah.
I was 20 years
Oh,
20
yeah.
years old, I mean,
Mhm.
now I'm an old guy, but
Yeah.
It goes by quick.
It does go by quick.
And now technology moves at an exponential rate as it did before.
That's what I'm saying. Like every year, it seems like there's a new gadget, a new toy, something that we can't live without.
Yeah. Just 20 years ago it was like, what's the internet,
Oh yeah.
So today we are going to examine more smart homes. What are some of the other things that you think would be cool? What about hurricanes? What if there was like a hurricane watch and your Rolodex shutters came down? Would that excite you?
That would
or
be
or would that be
awesome.
scary because you're like, wait, it's still like 100 miles away. We're not sure if it's coming. We're still here. We'd like to see what's going on outside. So there's like some things that you may not want automated,
Yeah.
but I think there's exciting things like a shade. Like some of these modern homes, they have these sunshades that come down and they
Yeah.
follow like the sun to keep the sun away. And it's like, and then once the sun sets, then they retract and they go back. Little things like that, I just find like,
Well, imagine if you're out of town and all of a sudden a hurricane pops up, and
Well,
then you can just say, "Hey, lock up the house," and
yeah,
everything-
or just like maybe there's a
everything comes
hurricane
down.
mode, like a panic button.
Right.
Yep.
And it's like hurricane mode, and like and then the fans turn on. Maybe the refrigerator gets extra cold in case it loses power or anything else, or maybe
Yeah.
maybe it sets up the generator to take over when if power. So maybe it just kind of primes that up. I mean, there's so many different cues that
Yep.
we could use these things. I mean, for me, I just love and trust me, if you've never had a smart lock. When the dog sitter comes over and they're like, I'm at your front door, and I could just be like, just pull up the app and
Okay,
unlock
you're
the
good.
door,
Go in.
and it just unlocks, and they go in, they walk the dog, they take it, and then as soon as they're like, okay, we're finished, or I could watch them on the Ring Cam, I'm like, okay, they're done,
Yep.
and I could lock it right behind her. Stuff like that.
Yep.
Or the guy comes in like the FedEx guy, and he's got a big like expensive hardware, like you don't want that to leave on the porch. Not only is your Ring capturing it and creating but you also get notified when it's there. And then I could also speak through the Ring, like, hey, I'm going to unlock the door. Can you just put it right inside the front door? Zzz. He puts it
Yep.
in, secure.
Right.
Oh, my God, life-changing.
Right.
How many
Life-changing.
people wouldn't like that?
Everybody would like that.
I know.
What about? Have you ever done this where you
Mm-hmm.
you go to the store and you come back and you're like, oh, dang it, I left the garage door open.
Mm-hmm.
So then you drive out of your driveway, you turn on the corner, and your phone beeps and says, "Hey, your garage door is open."
Mhm.
You hit a button, and your garage door closes.
Automation,
Yeah.
like remote automation, I think
Yep.
is probably one of the coolest things. Turning down thermostats, turning on and off lights, You know, if you know you're not coming home until late and you forgot to put the porch light on or your security lights, you know, and then you could do that. I mean, there's so many cool
the
things.
Products that I love that are just starting to come out right now.
What now?
The automated Wi-Fi enabled pellet smokers.
Oh.
Wi-Fi enabled
Yes,
pellet smoker?
Yes, you
Let's
can
talk about the stove.
you can do a whole like 18-hour smoke and ham, a brisket, and then you can measure. You can look at the temperatures on your phone. You can look at all the the smoke.
Nice.
You can adjust the temperature.
So you get the internal temp to your
internal
phone?
temp of the
So you'd be like, all
of
right,
the
oven.
smoker
So it's
and
done.
the meat.
right. So it's
Okay.
done, and then you could like,
Thermostat.
then you just
You
command
turn
it
it
to
off.
like just keep warm.
Yep.
Like
Back
okay,
it down to warm.
the brisket, the
Nice.
brisket's up to temp.
because you gotta let it sit.
Yeah.
They have ovens that do that already.
Yeah.
Because we're shopping for appliances.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they have some really high technology appliances that you can sync to your phones to let you know like what grocery list you need to
Or
do.
you
and
knock
stuff
on
like
the
that.
refrigerator
Right, yeah,
door
you knock
and-
on it for the light to come on. But even the ovens, you can program those to
Right.
like sync them up with your phone to have them automatically
So again,
preheat.
smart refrigerators. They know like how much milk is in there and how many things, and it develops a whole shopping list for you.
Yep.
Weird. Is
Kinda
that
weird.
scary or is that
It's kinda weird.
that fun? Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but
So
Right.
cool too,
It's
because you're like the
super
grocery
cool.
store.
Yeah. I mean, imagine that. Like being at the grocery store, like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have hot dogs. Do we even have relish or sauerkraut? And you could like zoom in into your like
Yep.
refrigerator and look around and see the ingredients.
yeah. Oh, there it is. We got enough of that.
Yeah. Isn't that? I mean,
Oh, we're out of ketchup.
so that's less scary. That's pretty convenient.
That's
Pretty
pretty
Yeah,
convenient.
I was gonna say it's scary, yes, but it's a lot of convenience. A lot of convenience.
I mean, a lot of things have been sold to us
Yeah.
technology-wise for the convenience. Like,
convenience of it.
you know, get a beeper.
Yeah.
No, never miss a
Yeah.
business deal or appointment. You know.
How about a car?
Yeah. You know, the OnStar, you know, you get a
Oh,
flat
yeah.
tire, you know, you'll never be stranded because OnStar will detect that you stop moving and ask if you're okay.
Yeah.
You know, so is it invasive? I mean, I know there's going to be all kinds of opinions when
Well, there's
Yeah.
the Big Brother thing.
yeah.
They know where.
I mean,
they
are
know what you're doing. They
can these
know what you're
things-
buying. They know what you're.
can these things be hacked? How
they
secure
can?
is it?
Yeah.
You know?
That's a big
But
concern.
I liken it to even like, let's say, the old, picking a lock. If somebody really wants to get into your house,
They're gonna do it.
Yeah.
there's going to be a way for them to compromise. You know,
Yeah.
not every
Good
window is
old-
secure, not every door is
Yeah.
secure, not every now smart home is secure.
Good old sledgehammer and get in just about anywhere.
A brick will drop many windows, and is that, I mean, so is security there? I mean, I think if you have the Ring, if you have like a couple Arlo or other home surveillance cameras, I mean, that's as best as anybody can get.
Yeah.
So being afraid that somebody's going to hack in and listen to your whatever
Or
the-
see
whatever
your kids.
whatever movie.
Kind of
you're-
weird. Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing. Like there's like smart tech, and then there's tech that maybe you should be smart about, right? So maybe having the baby monitor, in a prepubescent or adolescent kid, whose room. Maybe it's time to get that little that camera out of that room.
Yeah.
Maybe it's good for the infants and the toddler.
Yeah.
But maybe by the time they're 5 or 6, you really don't need a spy cam for
Yeah.
your 5
No,
or
you
6-year-old. Or of course, the older they get, more sensitive
I
it is.
have a Wise camera, and it's in my living room on the mantle of the fireplace, and it kind of catches, the front door
Right.
and a little part of the kitchen, so I can see who's coming and going. And I got a teenager too, so
Right.
I gotta watch him. But I would never put one in his room. But
Yeah, it's a little bit invasive.
Well, because then
Yeah.
you'd be Big Brother.
yeah, then
You'd be Big Father.
I am Big Father.
I am Big Father.
But I'm not that controlling.
Yeah. Let's avoid
That's
that.
too helicoptery.
Yeah. So you really don't you really want to be smart about tech. Don't put things in places where they may get stolen. Don't put like the Ring on the back porch when your deliveries are coming around the front porch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things to be smart about. Giving codes. Like like I have a digital keypad, and be careful with who you entrust that with. I remember
Yeah.
growing up, the neighbor to the left had a key.
Yeah.
I'm saying like the
You move
doors
it-
the doors were never locked.
like a
Anyways.
teacher at our school or maybe somebody else administrative wise at the school maybe had a key. So if we were locked out or something, or they had to drive us home and get us inside, so it's kind of like the same thing. You know, you just make sure who has those codes, who has those keys. I know when I sell a house, one of the first things I tell my people, like, you don't know how many existing keys are to these locks. And I'll give them like a Home Depot, like $50.
Yeah.
Go at least change your deadbolts.
Yeah.
You know, front, back, you know, deadbolts are really easy. Change the code on the pin pad of your garage door opener. Okay. And really, and then, and always ask that the seller give you all the transponders. Because sometimes I've been at closings where they bring like 5 or 6 transponders. Like, are you sure this is it? You know, are you sure the 2 kids, the neighbor, and the two vehicles, you know, for the parents? I mean, that's all of them, right? I mean, they had a work vehicle. They had like 5 transponders. I'm like, okay, these are all paired, and this is it, right? There's no other existing one. So, you know, when getting into a new home, you do want to secure it just with the basics. And then for me, I really like have somebody listen to me. I bark orders, right? I'm like one of those, like, turn on some music. Like, hey, you know, Alexa, give me a recipe for tomato sauce. For me, I really like having my Alexa. I really
I'm
do.
the opposite. I don't like talking to things.
You don't?
No, I don't like talking to phones or pucks or no. I'd rather like get my app out and just
Your hands
finger
on.
it.
Yeah, but what happens when you're like, you know, you're
juggling tomatoes out the refrigerator.
Your hands are full, right? And you can't pick up your phone or whatever it is. Or let's just say you're handling chicken.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's a good seasoning, Alexa, for chicken? But, you know, instead of picking up your phone with, you know, salmonella and everything else. So, I mean, there's sometimes it'd be like hands-free is fun.
Yeah.
You know. But
I do use it sparingly, but
sparingly?
I prefer not to.
Okay.
Yeah. I use it if I absolutely have to.
So for the duration of the show, I want to get into some fun things on how to employ your smart items. Now, a lot of people have seen the Philips Hue. I really like the Philips Hue, but it comes. You can either buy the individual bulbs, but they don't really work unless you have what we call the bridge. Okay, this is just another terminology. This bridge will then hook up to your router, and that router will then be able to be used by your phone, because, you know, as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network. Of course, you always want to make sure you're on the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest things to troubleshoot. Is if things aren't working, then, you know, because
make sure it's connected. That
right.
Light isn't blinking.
Yeah, you got to make sure it's ready to go. But having the lights is just so crucial. I mean, I could say foyer light blue, foyer light green, like, you know, whatever the holiday is. I mean, it's really cool. You can make it festive. But you could also say, you know, dim, you know, light. So
you're watching TV. You want to dim the lights.
There's a white light that just goes like bright and then dimmer, and then there's a colorful lights, which are really like any kind of, like, they even have like on the app, the Philips Hue app, like you could like go the cross spectrum and like go from like pink to fuchsia to, you know, magenta and all these other like colors. And it's really, really fun. 55 million color combinations.
My baby girl, if we could make the whole house pink, it would be pink and light and color.
Exactly. And then maybe for her birthday, that's maybe exciting. Yeah. Like, you know,
we do that.
Yeah, lights, you know, pink. I mean, so things like that are really fun. But this is one of the things that people get confused. Like, okay, I got the bulbs, but they don't work. So make sure you have a bridge. They usually, with Philips, they usually have like 2 or 3, like a starter pack, and then the bridge. And then you just keep on adding individual bulbs to them.
And then you name the rooms, and you name the zones, and you can create like a zone, like your whole living room, maybe 4 or 5
upstairs lights on, downstairs lights on, you know, and so you can now command like full sections of the house. I like that too.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So one of the other things, because now let's say you have the Nest, and that speaks its own language. And then you have the Philips Hue bridge, which has its own like little commands. And then you have like a lock that has its own like little protocol of how it communicates. Well, how does all these things communicate together? That's another big thing. And I'll tell you what, you know, it changes all the time.
Yeah.
Samsung, I think, has one. There's another couple.
Smart thing, LG Smart Things, I think, right?
But this is one that I found was really good. This is the Wink Hub 2. And it communicates with not only the Nest at the time. I think since Google got the Nest, now they're making it exclusive. But this is a hub where everything can be commanded from. So Wink has an app, and I could have the lights, the locks,
the outlets.
The outlet. I mean, you could pair all kinds of things. And what's really cool about the Wink was it wasn't exclusive to just a few brands, because some of them are brand specific. So So when choosing your video, your security cameras and your thermostat, because now there's like a lot of smart thermostats.
Yeah,
There's a lot of smart locks.
Yeah.
Make sure you look at whatever protocol, whatever language they're using, and then find a hub that supports all of them.
Yeah.
Combining it can be, and this is where it gets a little technical, but it can be a little bit hard. So doing research is very crucial.
Like Honeywell has a whole set of things.
Honeywell is a brand. I didn't write them all down.
Yeah.
But there's also like carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide.
Yeah.
Smoke detectors.
Smoke detectors, right? On all those kind of things. So there are a lot of things that that are also a certain brand. So sometimes buying all of one brand really helps because they all communicate.
Yeah, sometimes there's just one app and you can control everything. If you have a whole bunch of different brands, you're going to be looking at different apps. And so that can be a little bit confusing.
It gets frustrating as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you got to close one app and open another app. If you got a whole bunch of things to do, you're like, oh God.
And then you're doing what? That's like a smart home fatigue.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm so dizzy trying to do things, right?
So much.
I know. So the smarter your home is, the more automated it is, the more you have to update it.
Yeah.
Because things need firmware. I mean, a lot of times, I'll get open the app and it's like, this needs an update. So then you have to wait for it to update, and you see, things making different colors or while they're thinking and learning and stuff. But I'll tell you what, when it does work,
once you get it set up. Yeah, so
it's fun.
So the whole setup can be a daunting task, but once you have it set up, you got it all programmed the way you want it.
Yep.
All your lights outside are coming on at night and turning off and when the sun comes up, and
exactly.
All of your home is automated. Then you set it and you forget it.
You leave for work, the thermostat automatically goes down.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's like smart pet things like so there's like, have you seen the dog treat with the video cam?
Yeah, he presses
it. You come up there like, oh, would you like a treat? And then you can automate the treat call.
He wants to say hi.
Like I was sold on that.
Yeah, me
I was
too.
sold on that.
That's pretty cool.
That.
Yeah. So what are things you think people would be comfortable automating? What about sprinklers? Because that's a thing.
Yeah, that's a new thing that's actually been coming out. And I had a friend just put he was showing me the app on his phone. He was like, check this out.
I think it's Rainbird.
Yeah, Rainbird.
Has a automated,
yeah,
irrigation.
He was so impressed by his sprinklers. He just loved it.
Well, it's so cool. Like,
it is.
Hey neighbor, watch this.
Yeah.
Sprinklers off. And it's like, shh. Like, that's what I do, right?
That's how I roll.
Yeah. It's almost as good as like the remote lawnmower.
Oh yeah.
Remember like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Like the dad was like this smart guy and like the kid comes over not knowing there's a bunch of like little people around there, and he's like there and he's got the remote, and I mean there's just so many fun things. I mean I think we really are making a turn into that fully automated, because there's some builders, and there's a really fun community called Modern Duran. It's over by the courthouse on Judge Jameson Way, and it's only like 14 lots, but they're all modern. They're all from Elan, and that's ELAN Builders, and they've done other projects around Central Florida, but they did this one exclusive modern design, and I showed that model home, and let me just tell you, automatic, like the sink faucet, you put your hands just under it, and it's
motion sensor.
And so again, the greasy chicken or whatever, the raw chicken or whatever, and it just
and you can talk to it too. You can tell it hotter or colder.
The soap dispenses, like I mean everything's just like motion. Oh, I mean, and not only that, but they have like the smart pad. So the whole house is like this touch pad, and it's just like you just swipe, and like, okay, these are the lights, these are my blinds, these are. Let me just tell you, when you have like a smart architect build into the design,
it's all wired, everything's
already
it's
pre-wired.
All wireless now.
Yeah.
Like before, putting a home audio system in back in the day was running wires everywhere.
Well, even home networking, running Ethernet.
Yeah.
Right.
Or even coaxial, like putting cable into a room that never had it before. You got to go outside and tuck it under the fascia and whatever. And it's like, I mean, it was a deal. I mean, I used to have a drill bit this big that went through the concrete block, so I could put in Ethernet.
Yeah.
So we had a terminal in every room. So I did I did whole house networking.
Nowadays,
Tough.
surround sound is the whole house.
Well, not only that, I have a Roku TV. It's an Insignia brand, but it's made by Roku.
I have one too.
And they have these wireless speakers that I got. These things are only stand like this tall, but they fill the whole room, and there's not a wire going to them. You plug them in,
It's all Bluetooth.
they connect.
Yeah, sounds
Unreal.
so good. Yeah,
Unreal. And then, you pair your TV to Alexa, like, Alexa, play Spotify on my Roku. And it's like, man, being able to, like, run a party, like, hey, play some reggae, play some blues. It's just, it's fun. It's a novelty.
Have that in your house.
You can have it in your house.
Right.
So you don't have to buy, the most modern house. You could retrofit yours.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of it is just wireless. The bridge connects by Ethernet. You plug it in, it connects by Ethernet with the hub. The hub connects to the router. So I'm sorry, these both go to the router. So the router connects with all these little gadgets, and then they all are available through Wi-Fi. So it's completely wireless.
Some stuff you may need an electrician for, like it's the plugs and the light switches. But if you have a home that is an older home and it has just a regular on-off light switches, you can replace those switches with smart switches and smart plugs that
motion
will
sensors.
Yep, that will accommodate the new smart technology, which is
that's always nice. I love walking into a room and the lights automatically come on. I'm like, that's so cool. And here's
it's nice
why.
when you're coming in, like, from the garage in the grocery store or whatever.
I had a light switch that I programmed for the Super Bowl, and it had I programmed one of the buttons, and when you press the button, it went rah. It was me and my girl, my baby girl, going rah rah rah, cheering for our team. And so every time they scored a touchdown, it hit the button, and it would come over the speaker system, and the whole house would hear it. At our Super Bowl party. It was fun.
Cool.
I mean, it goes on all the novelties. It's more
creative.
It's more than just like a party favor or like a gimmick. At the next party, it really is fun.
Yep.
I mean, because let's be honest, how many kids will leave maybe the water tap running or the lights on, and knowing that the smart technology senses that they've left. Like, you stand up from the toilet, it flushes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Yeah. And so, so now you don't even have to, like.
We're almost catching up with the Japanese toilets.
I'm saying, though, I mean, it's coming, but only that. But what I'm also getting to is it's affordable, and most 17-year-olds can probably help you with all this.
Right.
Like,
I
let's
was
be
going to
honest.
say,
Easily.
it started a lot with commercial, the automated flushing toilets. I remember when my son was little, potty training in the mall, and then take him in and flush and scare him to death. Sorry if you're listening, child.
Right.
But
not so sorry.
Yeah. But those were like, it started almost commercial, a lot of this automated things, in the commercial industry. But now, because it's becoming more affordable, they've kind of tweaked it and made it convenient, but then also cost effective for the homeowners as well. So that's cool.
And not only that, but the apps, the actual interface is becoming a lot more sexy, a lot more like a lot of UI, that UX, UI. User experience, user interface, and it's just I mean, just like the Nest learns your behaviors, I mean, but before you know it, your favorite devices, show up on, right away, the most used, and it's like really nice big buttons. It's not like you're like looking for like a tiny like little switch on or off, and so it has become so much more easier to use, so much more for anybody to learn. It's just that the user interface, I think, has really caught up now to where it's not just the automated things,
right?
Like the water faucet coming on when you approach it, and have that motion sensor. So there's a few different ones, right? Motion, learned, or
Programmed,
right, automated, or the ones that are app enabled, right? So there's different ways to also utilize this smart technology. Again, some you just want to think about it. Lights come on in the morning, sprinklers come on at night, stuff like that, where you just want to just set it and forget it. Yeah.
Some are hand gestures, some
Exactly.
are voice commands, and you just got to learn what buttons to press and when to press them, basically.
Yeah. And
what motions to make,
what
or what
things
to say.
and what things to also program to be also voice command, or you don't want to have like watching a movie where they say lock the door all the time, and Alexa's like, yes, okay. And it's like you hear your front locks going on and off and on and off. So there are some things that you want to be smart about. So getting back to that, and I think that we'll save this for when we return from the break. We're going to go ahead and just really quickly say hello to some sponsors. We're going to regroup, and we'll come back on the other side of this. But let's think about some of the other fun things, maybe design-wise, as how people can use that. Because a lot of people have like floor lamps. They, is that appropriate for a ceiling fan? To have maybe like the bulbs, or is that mostly for your decorative lamps or whatever else? And we can get into that. And of course, John, we want to hear about the Mortgage Minute when we return as well. Okay,
sure.
So right from the break, don't go anywhere, guys, and we'll return after these short messages. Thanks so much.
Hi, Michelle Carpenter with Inspiring Home Staging and Redesign. We are Brevard County's premier home staging team, founded in 2013. You may ask, why stage your home or listing in a seller's market? Well, let me tell you, staged homes not only sell for 86% faster, but for 17% higher price. We have services for vacant, occupied, and luxury home staging. The definition of home staging is the professional service of preparing homes for sale in a way to appeal to potential buyers that generates a higher sale price. Our mission is faith, family, and community. Your home is your biggest investment, so stage yours today to get a higher price. Contact the team that inspires at 321-806-6543.
Hi, my name is John Maselli with Movement Mortgage, Beachside, Indiana-Atlantic. Movement Mortgage is a faith-based organization, and our mission statement is as follows. We exist to love and value people by leading a movement of change in industries, corporate culture, and communities. To me, this mirrors my own business philosophy. My goal is to help people finance purchases or refinance current properties stress-free and at great terms. Help people, and everything else follows. By the way, if you have equity tied up in your house, the only way to get it out is to refinance. Pull that equity out and pay off high-interest debt or build a pool. My office is at 225 Fifth Ave, Suite 4, Indiana-Atlantic. Call me anytime at 321-248-6245 or visit my website, loanapply.approved.com, for more information or apply to qualify for a mortgage today.
Are you in the market for a new home? Perhaps you need to sell your old home and downsize or relocate. Hey there, my name is Jesse Hall with eXp Realty, and I offer professional real estate services right here on the Space Coast. Give me a call, 321-877-8737 for all of your real estate needs. Again, 321-877-8737 for all of your real estate needs. Buy, sell, invest with the best. Find out more at 321-buysellinvest.com. Well, thanks so much for sticking around. Again, this is Jesse, and you're listening to the Space Coast Real Estate Show. Woo! Coming live from Space Coast Podcast Studios. And we're on discussion today of smart home, automated appliances, how to design, automate, and use smart technology.
It's as fun to talk about it as it is to use.
It is. and I think entry level, right? I mean, most people probably have like one of those devices. They've either got the Google Home or an Amazon Alexa Dot or the Dot Plus or one of the many variations of them, right? Even Facebook has like their own like little module where you could like talk to people and go and like have a FaceTime thing. I mean, there's so many ways to communicate. There's so many ways to be hands-free and just ditch the cords, ditch just about everything we used to know about technology. I mean, nothing's wired. I mean, even like the you walk into some homes from like the 80s and it's got the big brain in the master closet and it has wires and it got some motion detectors in all the corners and the little things.
Whole rack.
Yeah, the whole rack, and the things on the windows, when they separate, the alarm goes off. So there's all kinds of things, but they're all wired. Nowadays, it's like just all wireless, all fun. We can control the lights on with our voice.
Like that Simply Safe setup. You just
Simply
put
Safe.
everything on. And
Comes in a box. Yep.
It all connects to the main hub, and you're done.
And it's so easy. Again, anybody could do it. Again, you get the box, you put the pieces where you want them. Mount the camera, mount the motion detector, and it all pairs and works. And man, it's exciting times.
It is.
We were talking briefly about kitchens and smart appliances, and we're going to dive into that with Michelle in a little bit. John, Mortgage Minute, what's going on?
Well, right now, the mortgage-backed security bond market is pretty much stabilized. The Fed is, still talking about inflation a little bit.
Yeah.
The government's still contributing to mortgage-backed security bonds, and they're talking about coming off of that a little bit. So, but right now, rates are staying stable. It's a great time to buy.
Still historic borrowing opportunities?
Yep.
Yeah.
Loanapplyapprove.com. Call Jesse. Get you in a house.
Yes. John gets you finance. I'll get you the house.
Yep.
Even though, and I think all of us being in the business, things are still very skinny, still a little bit low of inventory. But don't let that scare you because they're building lots of apartments here locally. So
townhouses.
So if you want to like wait for
going up like crazy.
Exactly. If you want to wait for that condo building to be built, we could sell your house. You keep that equity. We could always put it into some other vehicle, so you still avoid capital gains, and then we could always again use that at another time when you're ready to build, or just pay off the builder and then wait the 8 months or whatever else. That way. You're probably going to be able to save some money in the skyrocketing materials costs because who knows where it's going to be in 6 months. So if you're making payments, are you waiting for the house to be built in order to complete the financing? That's another thing that we could go. So there are places to go. A lot of people are scared, like, oh, what do I do? I'm like, well, get that equity out of your house because this is the best time. If you've been in there for 15 years, or if you've been there since before 08, 07, and you've been waiting for the market to correct so you're not upside down. Now's the time to get out of there. We'll get you an apartment, or we'll find something of nice equal value, and then wait for your dream home to be built.
And remember, on capital gains, if you've lived in the house as your primary residence for 2 of the last 5 years, a single person can go up to $250,000 of profit before they have to pay taxes. And married couple can go up to $500,000. So.
And then they have a few years to even before they have to reinvest that for a couple of years too. Isn't there something about that they have to reinvest it within so many years? They don't have to do it immediately. With like a couple of years, they can. I think I don't know. I'm just speaking from past experiences, and laws change too. But
1031 exchange is a 60-day program, right?
Yep, the 1031 is
right.
Okay. That's correct.
So, but to avoid capital gains, as long as you put into something else, like maybe a life insurance policy, John, or IRA account or something like that.
Oh,
so as long as it's a retirement or something, some other savings account. Yeah. So there's all kinds of different ways. Of course, talk to John about any of that.
Yeah.
But we'll settle. I mean, there's so many things to do, and of course, if building is your dream, then there's still plenty of builders building. Nobody stopped. They are passing on some of those costs to you. But again, if you secure your price today, sell and pay a big upfront part, and of course, with a clause that says they can't raise the final product. Not a whole lot of builders will eat that. But I think if you come to terms, it won't affect you so much. So they're passing on like 30% more than the original quote from 8 months ago, right? So. We could talk about that. There's a lot of things to discover. We're still cranking here on the Space Coast. Builders are still building. More apartments are being available. Condo projects are happening all over. So it's
People are moving into the area.
It's they're coming, and they're coming fast.
Yep.
They're saying about what 2,000 families a week to Florida in general.
Yeah.
Right,
Or
the
something.
state of Florida.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big influx.
That's a
And they're going
big
to the popular
influx.
places. They're going to the coastlines. You know, they're not really, hanging out in the center of the state. But getting back to and thank you for that Movement Mortgage update there,
My
John.
pleasure.
By the way, too bad you lost that big fish this weekend.
I know.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm,
At least it wasn't on video of you losing it.
it actually is, but
Is it really?
I'm not going to share that with anybody.
I would love to see that post show.
I showed my wife. She laughed at me.
So, Michelle, how is it looking now that you're shopping for appliances? Are they all smart? I mean, do they have dumb appliances anymore, or do you just have to get a
I
video
think they're all
camera
smart.
in your refrigerator? What's going
Yeah,
on?
no, it's really interesting with appliances these days. You know, you've got the ones that you can knock on and the light turns on so you can see inside what you've got. You've got the double doors where you're just opening up to get access.
Right.
So those things are kind of have been here for a little while.
Wow.
But yeah, we've got the ovens that are pre-programmable, or you can program it from your phone.
Yeah, I like
think
the
it's
stoves.
GE that makes that one. And you can program it from your phone and go ahead and get it preheated. You've got the roaster or the whatever ready to go in the oven tonight when you get home.
Yes.
So those are really nice features to have, and making family meals ready a lot sooner and faster.
Well, I
amazing.
love the I mean, it's old technology, but a smart cooker.
Right.
It's 8 hours.
Right.
Great.
You're pre-programming it.
And it's like, and then you can put a whole chicken, some carrots, onions, potatoes, celery,
Oh, I love those.
some
Little
salt,
roast.
pepper, some
Yeah.
Worcestershire, come back and you got
And Tony
Slow
Sacheries.
cooker.
yes. Very good
on occasion,
seasoning.
Yeah.
Exactly. But what else are you finding available for kitchens and just living in general as being a staging and
So in kitchens,
designer.
you have the beautiful microwave over the stove. That's kind of been a traditional
with the combo
setup.
hood?
Yeah.
Like a
yeah.
exhaust?
Yeah. Well, now they have the microwave drawers
What?
that are down in the base cabinet, and they pull open, and then the buttons are right there, to program push button,
Where have I
and so
been?
you just place your food down in the drawer like a warming cooking drawer, and you push it back in, and you program it and everything.
This is my shocked face. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, they've been around
Fantastic.
for a couple, 3 years at least, because I know
Yep.
we staged a house down in Vero Beach a couple years ago, and they had one. Of course, it was a luxury high-end home at that point. But
Right.
yeah, they're still a little hard to come by, and you have to special order. Lowe's just doesn't carry them in stock.
And how do you wire that?
It's all wired behind the cabinets, and with plugs.
And you pull it out
electrical.
and you
yeah.
chop it in?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like a garbage disposal.
Yeah, or like a dishwasher. They're
Yeah.
making dishwashers instead of the lid flipping forward.
Yeah.
The whole thing just kind of pulls out.
Right.
So it's easier to.
Now I have seen some of those.
Yes. So it's a similar concept.
And now like dishwashers have like 4 shelves,
Yes.
Yeah.
like it's just like that. They have a flat shelf for all the silverware, and then I mean it's just it's getting crazier and crazier.
They're getting better about using the space.
Yeah.
in
Right.
Those dishwashers and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Keep your counters clean.
So what else? What about like
well, the faucets you mentioned that earlier.
Those faucets are so cool. I love
they are,
those.
but they're a menace to those of us that want to move them from time to time. Because we were staging a house and it had one time, and we were trying to dry the sink out because we'd used the sink.
right?
And every time we moved it, it would come on again. It's like, we've got to figure this out. So that was a little frustrating.
Well, I do like the ones that
But
are just soft touch.
the touch,
So you just
those
do like
are
the back of your
nice.
hand, and so it's
Yeah.
not like an
Those are
automated,
nice.
right? Because
Yeah.
I think automated's great for the bathroom.
Yes.
Because
For sure,
bathrooms
'cause
are,
it's a stationary.
and before you wash your hands haven't been in the right place,
Right.
right? So
Been in the wrong place.
so sometimes touching something. Anyway, you get the point. I won't elaborate. But I love that feature because again, it just allows you to just not have to touch so many things.
Right. That's fair.
And it keeps things sanitary,
Right.
which
Yeah.
since COVID, like that's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
important thing is to
Yeah,
keep everything
absolutely.
sanitary.
For sure.
Yeah.
But what about InDesign? I mean, are these new products sexy? Are they
they're
fitting
very
in?
sleek and
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of the buttons are hidden panel buttons where you don't have the control panel the buttons
Right.
visible. The stainless steel is becoming where it's fingerprint proof.
Yes, I've seen that.
And so
Yeah,
that's
that's
again that's
neat.
part of the technology that they're coming
And-
up with some of the finishes. But
And speaking of finishes, like I seen black,
mm,
the space
a
gray, or like
mass,
the so what's trending? I mean, the old stainless. I mean, certainly nothing that resembles white or
Right.
or the
Well,
cream from like
yeah.
you know like that
Yeah.
really ivory I guess color. But what would you think is the next kind of
So the
finish?
black is becoming more trendy.
Mhm.
You know that I think they call it like a gunmetal black. There's
Right.
a couple depending
Yeah.
on the company too.
Mhm.
Their trademark name,
right, right.
but kind of that black finish is coming in and being more popular. But surprisingly enough, you do see the white
Mhm.
because with the trend with white cabinetry,
Right.
the white appliances is coming back
Mhm.
because they want it to all be streamlined and and look cohesive, and you don't have this big black or stainless steel box refrigerator sticking out. And then the use of gold, the in the finishes, like with the faucets, the lighting,
Mhm.
knobs and things, it's more of an antique gold,
Right.
not the brassy gold. So there was a refrigerator that had the option to be white with the brass handles.
Oh, very
So,
sexy.
Yeah, very. It was.
So, are there any appliances that you could talk to yet? Can you say popcorn, microwave, or
I don't think so yet.
no?
They're not that automated. Not
I mean,
yet. Not yet.
but they are talking with you.
Oh yeah.
You know, the refrigerators are
Well,
telling you.
Right.
like-
Through technology,
Yeah,
not voice.
gotcha.
It's
Because that'll be a game
You can
changer.
talk to them; they don't talk to you.
Because I mean, I would love for like, hey fridge, give me a beer. And it's like
And it
dispenses
shoots
out.
one out. I got it.
Score.
you need a little robot to bring it to you then.
Well, I mean, why not? Or at least just a cooler on wheels. You'd be like, hey, cooler, come here, and it's like, you
Well,
just
maybe
grab
we
it.
can start integrating technology. We can get the Roomba.
I was gonna say,
Yes.
put it on top
To
of the
go-
Roomba and bring it to
The
you.
Roomba can go
That'd
to
be
the
smart.
refrigerator and bring you your beer.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Well,
That we may be onto something.
there's a pizza company. I think maybe Domino's
Oh,
that's
yeah,
got that
I
little
just-
remote control car, like in the cities. They're trying it out,
I
experimenting.
I seen the commercial.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
But weird or scary? Because that seems like a little like Aldous Huxley or something like Ray Bradbury.
Yeah.
If people are familiar with those authors.
Yeah.
It seems like a little bit more just because
Is
I mean
this the pizza I ordered?
but and how do you argue with the robot? Like, no, I want a pepperoni. Take it back.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, let me just roll up the street. I mean, they can't move fast. I mean,
Yeah, they don't look like they go
are
fast.
are they robots that make your pizza like on the way from like door to door? Like the Robinsons had like a pepperoni pizza and like your onion and sausage is like being built and cooked on the way in this robot.
Yeah, no, I
belly.
think they're built. I think they're actually cooked and made at the store, and then they put it in there, kind of in a
It's
heated
just a transport device.
transport device, and it's like in big cities. I'm sure.
So for someone who hasn't really embraced smart home tech, could you find yourself doing it? Give us a thumbs up
yeah.
or thumbs
I
down.
mean-
What do you think? In general.
So we do have like some automation in our security system. We do have a couple of the Philips light bulbs and the little LED strip around the TV.
Right.
That's a remote control.
Yes, change the
So
color.
we're
yeah.
getting there. We're
Yeah.
getting there. I do definitely think we could embrace it.
So thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
John?
I just see the.
Oh yeah, I'm a big
Lighting.
Two thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the lighting is, with decorating and decor, you've got so many different lighting aspects. Your task lighting when you're trying to work in the kitchen and preparing a meal or working at the desk or the computer, whatever. But then you've got the ambiance lighting, up lighting, downloading,
Well,
landscape lighting.
right.
There's just so many options for lighting.
especially if you look at like some of the more designer kitchens,
Right.
Because you'll have like a tray ceiling and like on top of the crown molding, you could change that, and maybe it's just a fades from color to color,
Right. Well, you
or
got the-
maybe it's solid. But
Right.
then you have the under the cabinet
Under cabinet
lighting,
lighting.
which is like kind of automated, like kind of like motion detected. So you go to like grab your toaster and it's
Right.
like it
Comes
illuminates
on.
everything else.
When you open like the glass front doors,
Yes.
you could open those, and those could come on automatically, or have them on, to showcase your collectibles and stuff. So yes, I think lighting in the kitchen is really important, and the technology, because they've got, even Alexa, can get recipes like you were saying,
Right.
and they've got a lot of gadgets that you can put in the kitchen to hold your tablet so that you can see your recipes, your
Right.
cookbooks, and
follow that YouTube,
of that,
or
yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
content creator, and and before it was like a laptop. Now it's like like the front of your fridge is like a TV. Like you
Right.
don't have to miss your soaps
Yeah.
or anything else. It's like all right there.
right.
So, I mean, what's next?
It's
I mean, it just seems like
fantastic.
what would you say is a beginner step for somebody who wants to just try automation or smart technology?
I would definitely say, like, openings, front door, garage door,
front door. Yeah, I agree.
Those kind of things, and then some lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Lighting is pretty easy to implement into an automated system. Of course, then there's the specialized devices that you can get. Like we were talking about the Roombas. I mean, you just kind of set that up, and you set your app up on your phone, and you can, vacuum your whole house without even touching anything.
I know, right?
Other than your phone,
you've
pretty.
Even got one that goes and docks and it.
Yeah, it charges itself.
Well, it charges and it gets rid of the trash too, doesn't it? Or it sucks it up into another little.
Oh, well, there's
that'd be
the
real
new.
Smart.
I think it
Well,
does.
like those new kitty litter self-cleaning things that like tumble and
That's great.
it bags it and everything. So you
Bags it.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you just pull the little bag out at the end and throw it in the garbage.
Suppose.
Okay, that sounds exciting. Of course, feeding the pets, that's always fun. Maybe eventually like something that something that would walk the pet. Like, that would exit the home and walk the pet and come back. I mean, I think that'd be next. I'd be excited about something like that.
That's too much.
Oh,
the dog, you gotta walk the dog.
You gotta walk the dog. You need
that's
exercise
how you get
too.
exercise.
Well, unless you
Oh,
have one of those
so we're drawing a
Peloton.
line on smart technology? Is
Yes.
that
You gotta walk your own dog.
We
unless
crossed
you
that
have
line.
that Peloton or that other. What was that other one that?
Oh
that
yeah, so that's another.
I mean, with
Oh,
workout
the
equipment,
fitness,
the
like the
fitness,
mirror.
yeah, the mirror,
the tonal thing.
Tonal.
Yes. You have a mirror now. You have.
And all that stuff is all Wi-Fi enabled. It sends a personal trainer, right in your face.
You could ride your bike in Fiji and
Yeah,
mountains.
while you're in your living room.
Yeah.
So, workout equipment, home appliances, but we didn't even talk about washers and dryers. Anything new with washers and dryers, or has that not changed a whole lot?
I haven't seen.
Not
any
that I've seen
smart-
either.
No.
I haven't seen any really like smart new technology in washers and dryers.
So mostly just a lot of voice command stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I know with Roku, there's you can enable voice command, so that's always that's kind of fun, and of course once you sync all these things to it, like again, Alexa could just about do everything: unlock a lock, open doors, turn on lights, make them different colors, and everything else. John, you weren't really excited about the voice command stuff. What would it take for you to trust your Alexa?
Well, it's not that I don't trust it. I just don't use it. I don't find myself talking to
Because he can't win the argument.
things.
Hey,
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's the
And we-
other reason.
and we learned about that earlier, right?
I'm mad at it.
You're upset with Alexa.
Yes, Alexa and me got in an argument we haven't made up yet.
The next episode, I want to hear about you guys making up.
Okay, I'll try it. I'll do
Okay.
it. I'll start
Especially
talking to my phone.
if you could video that
Actually,
conversation.
today I was driving and I
Yeah.
said, "Okay, Google," and I texted my wife only using voice commands.
Mm-hmm. My
Oh.
new
Okay,
truck
so-
does that.
Oh, that's special.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
it's-
I am kind of
Mhm.
getting there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you wish would happen next? I mean, automated, like, a bed that makes itself. What would that look like?
Well, I don't know about the beds that make itself,
Mhm.
but they do have, the new smart beds where, it kind of detects if you're snoring,
Snoring.
and it kind of moves you
And
around.
it does, like, lift your
It
head up.
raises you up so you stop snoring.
That'll save a marriage.
Yeah. Any last thoughts before we say goodbye?
Well, I mean, this was a great show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed doing this show. And
I know we may have to have a part 2.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
may have
Yeah.
to have a part 2
Yeah.
for sure.
When we were talking about too, a lot of these things are electronics, and we don't necessarily like the look of electronics, but they're very sleek. They're very stylish.
I
They
mean,
fit into a lot of your
this
nice
on
decor.
a
It looks like a
bookshelf,
book.
right?
Exactly.
On a bookshelf,
Yeah, you wouldn't even know it.
and it's
It's
really
there.
this little LED that blinks. It's mostly just solid blue when it's working, and then maybe blink blue if it's thinking, or orange if it's disconnected.
Tells
so,
you everything you need to know.
I
From
mean,
that one little light.
I'm telling you.
color.
I mean, it's just really, really just sleek. Connects with most of my appliances and the effects that I've mingled into my scene. Of technology. So. Really, it's whatever's right for you. If you do need help, give myself, John, a call.
Yep.
I would even
It's always getting better too.
yeah, I would even come and consult. I mean,
I'd be happy to. I did it for years.
I just love that, walking into a home and be like, what do you want to do? You know, it's like, And so yeah, just give us a call in general. For anything staging, redesign. You're thinking about selling. Please give Michelle a call. How do they reach you, Michelle?
321-806-6543.
And of course, anything regarding lending and more, and real estate.
Yes.
Because you do a little bit of both, John.
And smart homes. Like I said, I was an engineer.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've set these systems up all over the world.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I haven't done all over the world, but I've done my own and the studio, both my home and my studio. So I'm more than happy to also come by and just consult. Look at your home and say, could we make it better if we put it on the market with a couple of new smart features?
Buyers are looking. Buyers. I teach a class, and the demographics that are buying right now, the highest demographics are those younger generation, and they want that technology, and that's what they're looking for. So if you're thinking about putting your home on the market, some of these technology features would be very important.
And builders are getting smart. I know the community. I don't know if you guys went out to Bridgewater, the 55 plus over there off Pineda and Lake Andrew. Bridgewater, Lennar Homes, and they had the smart features, and they actually had like little those little voice quote like bubbles, and they would have it posted above the thermostat, like hey, set temp to this, and they would like prompt your command. So for the 55 plus older generation or more senior generation who may not be familiar with it, they actually had the technology there and then gave you the prompts on how to use it.
Nice.
I think that was a really cool touch.
Michelle,
cool.
You should start staging technology.
We'll have to think about that.
We should have to think about that.
You might have to start staging some smart technology.
So after listening to this, we're gonna figure out what we could do together.
Yeah.
But let us know in either the comments, or you could always email us or leave a review and let us know what you thought of this episode. If it brought any value, if it made you think twice about doing smart home, or maybe got you more excited on adding more and more features and peripheral, fun technology.
It was
in your
super
own house.
fun for us.
Very informative.
I'm a believer. So I preach to the choir, and again, I am seeing it in a lot of newer construction. It's just it's automatically coming.
Yep.
So like it or not.
Yep, it's coming. A lot of builders are putting it in.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yep. I mean, at minimum, Wi-Fi garage door openers and the digital keypads.
It's just like your cars. Every time you get a new car, every
Yep.
year, it's got more technology in it. Do all kinds of stuff like this. So
don't forget to tell all your friends and family about our show.
That's right.
Yep.
How do they get in touch with you, John?
You can give me a call. My cell phone number is 321-266-0703, or always go to loanapply.approved.com.
I love it. And of course, my name is Jesse. This has been another episode of Space Coast Real Estate Show. If you need anything as far as real estate here on the Space Coast, 321-buy-sell-invest.com. That's 321-buy-sell-invest.com. And I really hope you enjoy this. We really want to see some feedback and some comments. We probably will do a follow-up. Maybe get in touch with one of the builders and bring them in, and maybe just another technology expert, to help us kind of navigate what's going on. Maybe a security feature or, or whatever else. So we'll bring some more to you guys.
Yeah.
Just keep on following, subscribing, and listening to each and every episode. Until next time, take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.